Apple released iOS 26.5 beta. Though we expected the best surprise in this new upgrade, instead we got rich communication service, end-to-end encryptions, great Apple Map upgrades. But though most of the changes are pretty minor. However, there's no sign of the new Gemini powered Siri in this particular beta version. Apple released the first beta version of iOS 26.5 in March 2026, focusing on rich communication services, encryption, preemptive maps improvements, and European Union appliances. Key updates include rich communication services into encryption, suggested places in maps with future ads, and while overall updates include enhanced notification forwarding for third-party smartwatches and message transfer options, there is no significant improvements on Siri. We also look at the fact that a second revised version was released shortly after the first beta version to include minor refinements and indicating early bug fixes, though no major new features were listed. So, what is new with this iOS beta release? As you know, the world always expects the best from Apple's upgrades, and indeed, I waited for the best iOS upgrades too. So now we got this new updated version of iOS 26, which is the iOS 26.5 beta, upgraded with just minor changes than we expected. Just think about how it sounds with no upgrades in AI performance, while rival companies are trying to capitalize on great AI breakthroughs. I'm talking about missing Siri upgrades. So today, let's dig a little bit deeper into details and upgrades by iOS 26.5 beta. The most notable changes is visible within Apple Maps with capabilities prepared for advertising push. Apple appears to be laying the groundwork for ads in the iOS 26.5 beta since it adds a suggested places feature in Apple Maps that presents nearby trending locations and results based on recent searches. Apple has stated it will begin offering ad placements in maps from summer 2026, and businesses will be able to post spots that appear in search results and within suggested places. This update builds the technical foundation for incorporating paid promotions into Apple's mapping service. This Apple Maps ad support introduces code for local labeled ads in maps, allowing businesses to advertise in search results and location suggestions on their iPhones. Apple has actually reintroduced end-to-end encryption for rich communication service messaging between iPhones and Android users in iOS 26.5 beta, and this is enabled by default. A toggle in the messages settings allows users to manage it, though it remains in beta and may not work with all devices or carriers. This strengthens privacy protections while enhancing cross-platform communication. And this will be the most perfect messaging capabilities for iOS users, since FBI has lately warned against Chinese hackers and urging iPhone and Android users not to share text messages. The FBI highlighting security vulnerability when texting on smartphones, especially between iPhones and Android phones. But now, Apple has finally responded positively with the introduction of rich communication services, and 1.5 billion iPhones are about to change since the rich communication services is the successor to SMS texting, and its latest variant delivers the core protocol for cross-platform messaging. European Union compliance drives interconnectivity upgrades, thus introducing proximity pairing for third-party accessories, live activities synchronizing with wearables, and notification forwarding to non-Apple smartwatches, which disables Apple Watch alerts when active. It also adds migration controls for transferring message attachments when moving from iPhone to Android. These features support European Union Digital Markets Act compliance by improving compatibility for third-party devices, which is a great advantage to iPhone users in the European Union. Other minor changes are the ability to pair Magic Apple accessories with your iPhone, the new inactive to cable layout, potential Apple Books Here in Review feature, and improved iMessage attachment sharing. Apple also omitted Apple Intelligent Siri features upgrades in the new iOS 26.5 beta, following earlier delays linked to accuracy concerns. Reports point to iOS 27 due September 2026 as the launch point for the standalone Siri chatbot app, Gemini-powered AI enhancements, and deeper integration across Apple devices. The updated Siri is anticipated to deliver more personalized responses and broader capabilities, including app control and data-driven assistance. To try iOS 26.5 beta, you'll need to sign up for the Apple Beta Software Program. This will allow you to try out pre-released version for upcoming iOS upgrades. As a best practice, always back up your device data before installing a beta version for a new iOS update. The update is available through the Apple Development Center and Apple Beta Software Program, and it's also important to note that performance may vary with potential for minor device warmth. Apple is trying to build a strategic pattern that focuses more on monetization and appliance over AI. The iOS 26.5 beta underscores Apple's focus on building monetization channels and meeting regulatory obligations ahead of major AI rollouts. By preparing maps for advertising and restoring encrypted rich communication service messaging, Apple is bolstering both revenue potential and user trust. This approach allows the company to advance business and compliance objectives while ensuring AI features are ready for public release.